Hi, my name's Amanda and I live in Tennessee, and I'm excited to talk to you about some of the books that I've read recently since January and part of February, and just kind of what I want to read the rest of the month. So I'm just going to go ahead and get into it. Okay, so the first book that I'm going to talk about that I recently just finished this week is The Vanishing at Loxby Manor by Abigail Wilson. Yes, I love this book. I finished it this week. I love listening. I listened to it on audiobook. It was really good. It was clean. It's a Regency romantic mystery. It follows Charity, whose friend is basically gone missing. She has to spend a lot of time around her ex, Pierce. So there's a lot of interesting things going on there. So now they're just kind of coming back together, and all these things are happening as they're trying to figure out what happened to the friend that's missing, which is also Pierce's sister. So like I said, there's a lot of mysteries going on. This is a great clean read. It's set in 1816 Kent, England. There's a lot of twists and turns where you just want to keep reading the book to figure out what happens next. The audiobook was really good too. It was just easy to listen to and get through. And so I just love this suspenseful story. This author really knows how to draw you in and just like to want to keep reading, like I said. So while I would have loved the little bit more faith content in this story, it was still really good. It was a 5-star read for me. It was a wonderful story, and I will definitely be picking up another read from this author. So the next book that I want to talk about that I listened to on audiobook was Cytonic by Brandon Sanderson. This is the third book in the Skyward series. And if you're not familiar with the Skyward series, that is basically a young adult sci-fi novel where it's about a girl named Spencer. Her father was a pilot for the military there, and that they're having to like fight these aliens off and on. And her father died in battle, basically, and they labeled him a coward. And so she's been pretty much deemed a coward as well because they think that she has some sort of defect, and they don't trust her. So she's had just a really hard life. Now she's just fighting to become a pilot and flight school, and everything takes off from there. So that's Skyward, if you're not familiar with that. So this third book, no spoilers or anything, but I like this continuation, but it's certainly not my favorite. I really liked the first book in the series. I love the narration of these books a lot. They're easy to listen to, and they read like a movie. I love in this book, I love the details that we got with Spencer and Embot, but the rest of the characters just fell flat for me. She meets a lot of new friends, and there's a lot of action, and there's certainly a lot more world building and details there. But I guess I just didn't seem to care about the new characters, so we kept getting introduced. This took a major side quest for the whole book, and it was meant to be that, you could tell. And like I said, while I liked it, I guess I'm just ready to get back to that first book and kind of figure out, with those characters, just continue on with their story. So this was a 3-star read for me. Like I said, very enjoyable. It's still really great. I'm still going to continue on. I do want to see kind of what happens in the next one, so I'm excited about that. And then after that, I listened to the novella, and it was called Sunreach. So that was a novella that is meant to be read after book 2. It's a book from FM's perspective. I won't say a whole lot about it other than I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars because it had some of the characters that we had from the beginning, and it just kind of took on the continuation from their point of view. And I really liked it. It was kind of like found family. I loved FM's point of view. I loved hearing more about what was going on with the group while Spencer was away after book 2. So I really liked it. So I'm going to continue on with the novella series on audiobook as well while I'm waiting, of course, on book 4 to come out. But I really liked the novella. It was a lot of fun. So got my coffee here. Next book that I read was Go Tell the Bees That I'm Gone. That is book 9 in the Outlander series. So if you're an Outlander fan, you're pretty much in it for the long haul, just like I am. It's one of my favorite series. I started it maybe 2014 when the show came out, and I've read all the books, so just love the show. It's just like my thing. Obviously got the books right here, but book 9 was really good. I give it 5 stars. I don't know if it's just where I've not been immersed in this world, in this story in a while. or if it's just all the family details that we got in this story. Certainly won't give a lot of details, but it was just so good. I mean, there was just a lot of family, everybody was together and I really liked that. A lot of character development, and I know some people said that there wasn't a lot of plot going on, like there wasn't a lot of details there, and certainly probably wasn't as action-packed as some of the other books, but I really liked it. There's always that question of are they going to change history? Can they change history? What's going to happen next? And then just the love that they have for each other is so strong, and I just love all of that. So always a great story. The audiobook is really great for narration. So yeah, I really like that. 5 stars, and I can't wait for book 10. Who knows when that'll be? And you know the wait's long. But I really liked that one. So the next book that I want to talk about was Clanlands Almanac by Sam Heughan and Graham McTavish. Really liked it. I had fun listening to the audiobook. One thing about, I don't know if y'all have watched Clanlands on Stars, but Sam and Graham are hilarious together. They're just something about them. The banter they have back and forth is so fun. But basically, the show Clanlands, if you haven't seen it, is where Sam and Graham travel to Scotland in a van, and they're going over like Scottish history. And it was this was a great audiobook, in almanac form, all throughout the rest of the year, all the different months, just to give updates and like plants, holidays, festivities, like a traditional almanac would, famous people's birthdays and those sort of things. So just different perspectives too, though, are thrown in there from Sam and Graham, and it was really funny. They're just so funny to listen to. So if you would like to read something like that, I would think that the audiobook is going to be the best format for this book, just because you really get to hear the tone back and forth is funny, and they kind of interrupt each other throughout. It's fun. So I really liked that. And the final book I'll talk about is Relationship Goals that I've read. Relationship Goals by Michael Todd. I really like this. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. He talks about how you can have a healthy relationship, biblical perspective. I listened to this on audio and felt that it was kind of like listening to a podcast. And I feel like this was a great resource for anyone that's dating, married, or even if you're not. It just gives many principles and how you can apply that to our relationships. So for the rest of February, I am currently reading Circe by Madeline Miller, and I'm enjoying that so far, about 50% through. I borrowed that from my local library, the ebook for that, so I'm reading that, and like I said, I like it so far, so hopefully I'll finish it soon. I know I want to read In Search of a Prince by Tony Shallow. I think a lot of us are excited about that book. I've got that. I bought that on Kindle, actually. It's a newly released Christian fiction where it looks like a girl, a teacher in public school, finds out she's really a princess, and has to assume like her royal position really quickly in Africa. So, because the health of her grandfather is failing. So that sounds like there might be some romance in that, and just sounds pretty exciting. So I'm hopefully I can read that this month. I also want to read The Lady of Galway Manor by Jennifer Dibble. I think I said that right. I absolutely loved her other book, A Dance in Donegal, last year. She writes very well. She has great information about Ireland in there. And in her stories. So this book is set, it looks like in 1920, where Annabeth, her father, is appointed landlord of Galway Parish in Ireland. She convinces her father to arrange an apprenticeship for her in the Jennings family, and it looks like there may be some love story there as well. I'm excited to pick this up. I've already bought it on Kindle as well. And I do have a few other books borrowed from the library. I'm really bad about borrowing from the library and then like returning them before I get to read them. But I also have The Case for Grace by Lee Strobel that I want to read. It's a nonfiction where he talks about the theology of God's grace. So I am excited about that too. So I just want to throw myself out here and give you some updates about what I'm reading and what I'm enjoying and what I want to read. And hopefully I can make other new videos. I don't know how often I make any, but yeah. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.